Lamb jokes, animal jokes. Q. Why did the lamb call the police? A. He had been fleeced. Q. What do you call a lamb covered in chocolate? A candy. Baa. Q. What do you get if you cross an angry sheep and a moody cow? A. An animal that's in a baad moood. Q. What do you call a lamb with a machine gun? A baad situation. Q. What do you get if you cross a boa and a sheep? A wraparound sweater. Q. How do lamb greet each other at Christmas? A. Merry Christmas to you. Q. How do lamb in Mexico say Merry Christmas? A. Feliz Navidad. Q. How many lamb does it take to knit a sweater? A. Don't be silly, lamb can't knit. Q. What animal sounds like a lamb but isn't? A baboon. Q. What do you call a dancing lamb? A ballerina. Q. What do you call a lamb that is always quiet? A sheep. Q. What do you call a lamb with no legs? A cloud. Q. What do you get when you cross a lamb and a porcupine? A. An animal that can sew its own sweaters. Q. Where did the lamb get a haircut? A. The baa shop. Q. Where do lamb get their wool cut? A. At the baa shop. Q. Where do lambs take a bath? A. In a bath tub. Q. Why was the lamb arrested on the freeway? A. Because she did a U-turn. Q. Why couldn't the little lamb play outside? A. It was being baad. Q. What would you get if you crossed a goat and a lamb? A. An animal that eats tin cans and gives back steel wool. Q. What is a sheep's favorite newspaper? A. The Wall Street Journal. Sheep herders. Two sheep herders are flying the herd to a new farm. Suddenly, the engine fails and the plane begins to fall quickly to the ground. Quick! Grab a parachute and jump, said the first herder. What about the sheep? Said the second herder. Fuck the sheep, the first herder replied. Do you think we have time? Asked the second herder. Tourist coach. When a tourist coach passed through a small country town in Australia, one of the passengers noticed a lamb tied to a lamppost on the corner in the main street. Oh, that, said the guide, that's the recreation center. Religious cowboy. The devout cowboy lost his favorite Bible while he was mending fences out on the range. 3 weeks later, a lamb walked up to him carrying the Bible in its mouth. The cowboy couldn't believe his eyes. He took the precious book out of the lamb's mouth, raised his eyes heavenward and exclaimed, "It's a miracle." "Not really," said the lamb. "Your name is written inside the cover." Pickup truck. A police officer sees a man driving around with a pickup truck full of lambs. He pulls the guy over and says, "You can't drive around with lambs in this town. Take them to the petting zoo immediately." The guy says okay, and drives away. The next day, the officer sees the guy still driving around with the truck full of lambs, and they're all wearing sunglasses. He pulls the guy over and demands, "I thought I told you to take these lambs to the petting zoo yesterday." The guy replies, "I did. Today I'm taking them to the beach." Night of drinking. A man and his pet lamb walk into a bar. It's about 5 p.m., but they're ready for a good night of drinking. They start off slowly, watching TV, drinking beer, eating peanuts. As the night goes on, they move to mixed drinks, and then shooters, one after the other. Finally, the bartender says, "Last call." So, the man says, "One more for me, and one more for my lamb." The bartender sets them up and they shoot them back. Suddenly, the lamb falls over dead. The man throws some money on the bar, puts on his coat and starts to leave. The bartender yells, "Hey buddy, you can't just leave that lion there." To which the man replies, "That's not a lion, that's a lamb." Movies. A man in a movie theater notices what looks like a lamb sitting next to him. "Are you a lamb?" asked the man, surprised. "Yes." "What are you doing at the movies?" The lamb replied, "Well, I liked the book.